Welcome to the daily meditation. Naturally, bring on board an inner smile. And as always, allow that inner smile to be so refined that every aspect of your entire being reflects that inner smile. Note how easy it is to give yourself permission to be comfortable in relaxation. Now send a thought from the mind down into your thinking process from the human perspective, and imagine the brain recalibrating in synaptic pruning, meaning it begins to clear thoughts that are no longer relevant, to access thoughts that shall be far more appropriate in relation to this evening's practice. As always, move your awareness to the breath, and whereby one can note the ease that the breath flows through the lungs in exchange. Now go beyond the lungs, whereby you can notice the entire body benefiting from the exchange within the lungs. How simple it is to think with thoughts of inspiration. Now for the next few moments, as you refine breath exchange in preparation, if needed, adjust the body, limbs accordingly, and torso. Be positive, be constructive, be proactive. How natural it is to give yourself permission to be perfectly aligned with the divine intelligence. Now, if I was to suggest for you to relax those arms, how easy it will be if you choose to allow those arms to be far more relaxed. And so the limbs continue to replicate your accepted beliefs in outcomes. Notice the echo that finds you in thought transference. For the next few moments, as you settle into the preparation, imagine that you're giving the body complete permission to be so comfortable that all discomforts of past shall no longer reside within your mind in exchange. Go within and find that wonderful state of what you may consider as perfect balance in health and well-being. Now, when appropriate, imagine as that body relaxes comfortably, you can now move your attention away from that physical body during this practice, in the knowing that the body shall continue recalibration perfectly in accordance to its programming. Be positive. And now imagine that you're catching a wave that moves your mind out into the cyberspace of unlimited potential. Remembering that your mind shall follow your directives. Thus, for the next few moments, imagine what you may consider as cyberspace of the mind's entrainment, meaning a space that is unlimited in variables. And as you give yourself permission to notice the cyberspace of the mind, imagine during this practice that you shall refine your focus upon the most refined season of enhanced clarity. Now be positive. Note that there are unlimited variables in your thinking processes. In meditation, we're refining these variables to specific outcomes like a laser, focused. Thus, imagine. Remember, imagination is creating powerful impressions within the mind by images. Imagine you have already achieved your desired objectives for this birth, whatever that may be. You have already achieved your planned objectives. Send that thought through the entire mind. And remember, your mind is wise. And once it recognizes that you're focused upon the best outcomes, it shall begin to bring that into maturity. If your thoughts digress, lovingly bring it back on board. Lovingly bring it back on board. Now note as to how the mind has created a channel in access to those impressions. And in return, give yourself appreciation for the wisdom that was inherited deep within your own personal evolution from a spiritual perspective in exchange. Certainly we can appreciate the loved ones in our lives from conception until now, but trust that the wisdom extends far beyond this incarnation. And in this birth, one is choosing to have, again, expanded experiences and learning via interaction and exchange. And the first is with yourself. The first exchange is how you treat yourself, how you work with yourself, how you allow yourself to interact with yourself. Thus, take a moment and review how you are interacting with you, and review your life to date and notice how you have interacted with yourself. Though a simple exercise, it has a profound effect upon your entire mind. As an observer, not a participant, be an observer. Be kind to yourself and remind yourself that you are far wiser than you may have yet given yourself credit for. And you can detach from unwanted thoughts, emotions, and impressions for the rest of eternity, and find balance within those impressions that shall give you a greater sense of purpose in upliftment, love, joy, and appreciation. Go within. As always, with each practice, you are building foundations for the best life experience ahead. Imagine if every living human being was exactly like you. Could you evolve? If everyone saw the world exactly as you perceived reality, and everyone interacted exactly as you do, would you be comfortable in that world? Just like if you ate the same cuisine for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day for the rest of this life without change. The human mind needs variety. If you watch yourself throughout each day, you shall find you distract the mind constantly due to that overview continues to seek greater challenge. Imagine sitting and watching the same show every day without change, the same episode, nothing ever changes, the Groundhog Day of life. But there is a purpose behind it, so that you can finally recognize who you really are. Thus, in meditation, one seeks clarity and stillness and refined focus without digression. Find that inner peace for the next few moments again. Imagine you have already achieved that objective or those objectives that are still in progress from the ego space in time. But yet your higher mind has already achieved it. Go within that space of full achievement. Find that state of inner peace in accordance to what you may consider as inner peace. Again, imagine if every living human being was exactly like you. Would you be comfortable with your neighborhood? And if you went out socializing, would you be comfortable with the environment if everyone was exactly like you in personality? Perhaps at the start it may seem as an optimized option, but in reality you may find it more challenging than you have yet come to recognize. Until you recognize. It is stated by those who, to whatever degree, have had their own experiences with the afterlife, that they state that there is such a thing called a life review, whereby one reviews the life not as the personality but as an observer. Thereby one can perceive as to whether one has achieved their objectives or not. We can have this life review now, as you are purposely allowing that body to relax. But be kind to yourself. It's not judging, but rather observing as to what needs refinement and what has already been achieved to great success. Go within. And as you have this life review, imagine if you began to observe those in life that has caused you some form of distress or discomfort or misalignment, but yet you're observing it now from an energetic perspective, not the egotistical perspective, you would find, to whatever degree, there is a connection there. As without the connection, there cannot be an experience. From a human perspective, one would only see the connection from a linear perspective. From the spiritual perspective, one sees it from a divine perspective. Note the learnings that you've gained through those experiences. Have you attained that state of inner peace? Meaning, can you walk on this planet Earth and find solace and peace with every person that you interact with? Or is there still some form of conflict that needs resolution? And let's say you were to come face to face with an aspect of yourself, if you believe in a past life, that was not perhaps as pleasant, loving, and endearing as you are today. And if you were to observe that individual's life, would you be comfortable in realizing that that was you? To some degree. Perhaps not in your ego state as you are now, but it was you at some time. Now imagine the future reflecting back upon this birth. How shall it feel, knowing that this birth had influenced its byproduct? Be constructive, be loving, be kind to yourself, be caring to all life, if one is understanding the universal laws of entrainment. We attract to ourselves what we have given to ourselves. Remember that. We attract to ourselves what we have given to ourselves. Give yourself light, love, peace, respect, and empowerment. Go within. And if you chose to infuse your mind with only the best, not from a human construct in the best, but from a divine aspect of the best, would there be a difference? Let's say you were to meet a salesperson. Would you expect that sales individual unconditionally to have your best interest in mind unless you begin to understand the process of how this individual lived their life? It would only be an assumption. And a sales individual needs to reach target, which means if they do not sell, they do not make financial returns. So the question is, if you were to be in sales, what sort of sales individual would you be? Would you be focused upon reaching target? Or would you be focused upon providing the best service? This is an important question, as this is what you do to yourself every single moment of your life. Once you understand this, the rest is easy. Be empowered. Go within. What would it mean if you began to fully express pure love unconditionally? To be pure light. Imagine that. That is available. You do not have to wait for lifetimes. It's available at this very moment in your life, as everything exists simultaneously. Once you understand the whole concept of a multi-dimensional timeline in exchange. Be loving now. Go within and notice how much respect you have for you. If so, would you choose to utilize the tone or word or an action that is anything but love and light, be it to yourself or someone else? If you are pure love, then only love is expressed from you and is shared with you. What does it mean to be human? What is the purpose of taking human birth? Is this reality real? What is the origin? And where shall this, what you may consider universe, end up? One day. As sooner or later, the linear time shall find this universe. Just like in time, your sojourn in this physical body would have reached its summit. Do not waste a single moment. Utilize every moment to your advantage by being empowered. Ask and thou shalt receive. Whom is this I within that is being expressed on a daily basis? Be empowered. And imagine coming into contact with your tomorrows. Will you be happy with the replications of your past? Would your tomorrows welcome you with open arms? Trust that at this precise moment you are influencing your future. Do not waste a second of this birth. Utilize it to your advantage. Then miracles shall be a natural byproduct of your presence. Go within and find pure light and fill your entire body with what you would consider as the best impressions for the life ahead, physically, emotionally, mentally, and beyond. Now feel grounded, trusting that the planet Earth is a sentient intelligence that provides all your needs and every need for every living cell on this planet. Deepen your breath. Awaken those fingers, and when appropriate, place one or both palms effortlessly, lovingly upon your heart region in full love and respect for the journey thus far and the journey to come, due to your conscious influence and thought exchange. And until we interact as always for the next practice, remember, whenever you gaze in the mirror, trust that you're gazing at your pure divine nature. Thus, every thought and action is replicating your accepted belief in whom you truly are. Be love, be light. Live a life of integrity, of inner peace. But as always, bring on board that loving inner smile of appreciation and respect for all life.